Hello, hello. Welcome to my panel. I hope my accent is not too terrible. It's not my language, so English is hard sometimes. I hope I will not struggle too much with the words. And I hope you'll like my panel. I want to warn you before because it's a panel on gore, so it will contain gore and also, in general, injuries, um, a little decay, but not too much since I'm not very interested by that. Um, it's not something I enjoy, so I will not discuss it too much. So there we go. So what is Gore? And also why I like it. Gore is used, as you can see in the fantastic description I found online. It's about blood, violence, and injury. Gore art is about that too, but there is a nuance because I think it's more important to um, what's hard? It's more important in Gore art to find the aesthetic of it. What's beautiful in blood and not just direct injury. It's why I want to give an example that I love about it. It's not um, a realistic depiction of body horror and gore, but I think it's the type of art I want to do myself, and I want to see. It's a piece by Niram with one of my favorite artists, uh, and I think it embodies what's good with gore. Um, the aesthetic of the body and it's dismemberment a little, and I love this piece of art. So, how to draw gore? First, you have to have a basis. As the main basis is that you find all the appeal of the gore in the depiction of the body, and to do a good depiction of the body, you need reference. The problem with that is that reference are not very good for your mental health if you use accurate references. Um, some people are less touched by injuries, real injuries. Some people like me are really sensible with real life gore. So I will not. Um, I I advise that you do not find the real things online. It exists. There is a lot of sites where you can find car crashes or dissections, etc. But it's very graphic. It's not it can be interesting aesthetically, but it's not the best for that, and it's traumatizing. So I don't recommend it. Instead, what I recommend is to cross-reference and mix everything you can. Um, the first resources are anatomy books. Not photo of anatomy, but drawings of anatomy are very useful. Models of anatomy are useful too. A skeleton, etc. It's very neat. You can use your own photos if you can see how a body works from the outside. It can help a lot. Don't mind my face. It's a random example. You can use a proxy for your textures, your things in general. I like for this food pictures. Meat in particular is very useful. I know people who don't like to see meat. I understand. It's not very yummy, but it's a lot better than human meat on the on a car crash accident. So it's a good proxy. You can find textures, you can find organs, but be careful because a pig organ is not a human organ, so you will have to cross-reference with anatomy drawings. Stock photos are cool if you know what to find. It's a little trickier. You can also use tutorials. Uh, all are not the same. Some are very good. I will link you to one an artist who does very good tutorials at the end. Uh, it's always good to have a different variety of reference because you can compensate the inaccuracies of one reference with another one, so it's very useful. It's important to understand anatomy, but not particularly in a medical way, but in a structural way. Uh, the body is a sandwich. There is a lot of layers. I illustrated them there. Uh, it's important to see the body as something that has depth, because depth is what we do when we do gore. Everything is very irrigated, so there is a the more you enter the depth, the more there will be blood, and the more layers you expose, the more interesting, in my sense, the 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 gore will be. The body also works like a puppet. So there is joints, there is strings to attach them, and it's easier to break it at the joint. But you can also break it in the solid, in the where there is no joints but there is bones. It's more violent. So if you want to add violence, break a bone. because it needs a lot more force. My favorite parts of the body are organs because it's very visual. You know that the organs are fragile and they are protected by the body. But when you touch one, uh, there is a lot of blood, there is a lot of pain, and a real danger of death. So here's my classification of organs. Um, the more squishy, the better, because what you want to do when you draw gore is to elicit reaction, um, something visceral. So it's very important to have squishy things because it's very evocative for the people who see it. So the best organs, in my sense, is the digestive system because you can manipulate it a lot. It's very irrigated. It's very long, and it's a very good graphic element, very recognizable. So you can use it a lot. It's not so easier to draw, but yeah, it's you can do an approximation quite easily. What's important too is colors. Uh, you have a lot of colors in the human body, mainly red, if you go in depth. My color palette is, I think, quite average. Blood is a little um, lighter than muscle. The depth and the irrigation of the muscle is something you have to have in mind when you find the good color. It's the fat and the layer of fat between the skin and the muscle is not really noticeable in general, but you have to have that in mind that there is a layer of fat and tendon between the skin and the muscles. Tendons are at the end of the muscle, so in general, the color of the muscle is redder in the center and white at the end. And there is bone. You can bone is interesting because it's white, but it's not the same white as the tendons, and you can color it with blood. On skin tones, injury changes the skin tone because of the blood. Normal skin tone, light or dark, is on average at this on this place on the color wheel. it's not the case for fantasy race, for example. If someone has a blue skin, the skin tone will not be the same. But in normal context, it's warm and when you go outside of that range, it's it's a bad thing. When you suffocate, you turn blue. When you are ill, you turn more green. So if you want to suggest something abnormal, you have to change the skin tone, or you can change the skin tone. Um, so that's why bruises, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's terrible. When you have bruises, they evolve like according to this change in color. When they are fresh, there is blood underneath the skin, so it's redder. Then the oxygen leaves the blood, so it becomes more and more blue. And then at the end, when it's healing, it becomes more green than yellow, and it resolves. Bruises are a little trickier on dark skin because if you use the same color palette as on light skins, it will not show a lot. It can be you can use it still, but it will not show a lot. And when you do gore, you want to see what you do to your characters. So you have to accentuate it a little for it to be visible. The two approaches are good. As for blood, there is a difference in color and texture, and also transparency between fresh and old blood. Fresh blood is very vivid and also transparent. I personally prefer old blood because it's more sticky. It's more interesting. So when I draw Gore with one character, I prefer to darken a little the blood and make it stickier. It's not very accurate, but I prefer the effect because making things sticky make things better. It's very when you do horror, you need to have something that is visceral and impressive. So if everything is flat, it's not very impressive. So it's better if you make things messy. So I love to add texture even if it's not very realistic. Um, I love to do little bumps and scratches and things that are not very pretty, but that mm, that gives a sensation of ugh, you know. For that, some brushes are very useful. I use a lot my blood splatter brushes. They are very useful. In traditional arts, you can do uh, projections like that very easily, uh, but on with with digital art, it's a lot harder. I like also to do to add light on specific parts to make that part glistening and sparkly because it adds to the tactility of it, and it's very important.
Mm.
You can have also a lot of other textures. I will not linger a lot on those because it's at the limit of my personal tolerance. I'm not very good with scarring, so I will not explain it very much. Uh, so the now that we I've explained the basic, we have to um, arrange them in a way that is efficient to have the maximum of impact on your drawing. The first thing that is very important is the expressions and the way your character is depicted, the pose. If you don't make something that is if excuse me, um, if you not don't do something that makes your character in pain, or you are wasting a good injury. You can have a big injury and not very much, not a lot of emotions behind, or you can have a little injury comparatively, and a lot of emotions. What's important is to match the emotion with the body language. When your character is in pain, it tenses his body. It also heightens the emotions, so you have to use it well. It's a little hard to do. Um, it's a little hard to do big emotions when when you are not very experimented, but it's something that goes with that is better as time passes. You will, if you want, you will progress in that domain. The second thing is the composition. You have to uh, put the focus on the part that is gore if you want to impact the people who see it. I will use the Merde Legend art for this. Uh, I composed it on a very specific way. One thing that is very important to know is that composition works with the eye, where the eye goes. So, in general, in Occidental people, the eye starts at the top, at this top corner of the image, and it goes like this. You go from left to right, then you follow the the composition path that you want. Here I did a path that starts here, that goes on the elbow, then goes down and return by the fins and return high. So the triangle, the main triangle where the eye will go is there, where there is a lot of gore. There is also a contrast thing. It's easier to see in Greyton. The important part is the mermaid part. So I used more light colors than on the top part that is less important. So it's more noticeable when you see the drawing for the first time. I also used a lot of saturation on the central part to anchor the eye at this place. So it's important to compose your image right. If you do a very detailed gore thing and you don't focus on it, it's a little wasted. So keep that in mind. You can also go nuts with everything. The advantage of Gore is that you don't have to do something very neat. You don't have to respect reality, because reality is boring. If you want, you can ignore everything that I said earlier. If it works well, it's good Gore. You can stylize for comedic purpose, for example. You can deform the body to add horror. You can multiply limbs. You can use other characteristics like different species, deform things, etc. You can also use the general principles of Gore on completely another things. As long as you want, you can do body horror and you can do Gore with everything you want, like a plant or here I use the Mina's for demonstration purposes. It's a robot, but it's clearly body horror. As long as you have fun, you can do everything. And for every tone, for every situation, the important part is that you like the aesthetic and that you implement it however you like. What's important is to have fun. So here's my conclusion. If you want more resources, the links in the PDFs are redirecting to the things they are linked to. So I will link it, and I hope you liked this presentation. I'm very insecure about my accent and everything, so I hope it's not too terrible. I will not re. I will not see it after I record, so I hope it's not too horrible. And if it is, I'm sorry. Goodbye.